Praise God. We thank God for this day. Today we'll still continue with our topic about love. And today we're going to go deeper on the word hatred or hate. We're still using the book of Luke chapter 6 verses 27 to 36, which talks about love for enemies. So today we are going to concentrate on the word hate or hatred. And according to the dictionary, the word hatred means an angry or resentful emotional response to a certain person or ideas. It's often associated with feelings of anger, disgust, or disposition towards the source of hostility. When we say an angry or resentful emotion, when you resent someone, that it means that you hate that person. It means that when you see that person, you feel like you're disgusted. When you see that person, you feel like you want to kill yourself, or you want to choke yourself. There's that feeling of hostility inside you towards that person or towards an idea. When you say resentful, it means that you hate or you're disgusted by that person or something. That's according to the word hatred. And I'm going to use two case studies or two stories to demonstrate on the word hatred. The first story, if you may allow me to read, it's a case study. A kindergarten teacher decided to teach her class play a game. The teacher told each child in the class to bring along a plastic bag containing a few potatoes. Each potatoes will be given a name of a person that the child hates. So the number of potatoes that a child will put in his or her plastic bag will depend on the number of people he or she hates. So when the day came, every child brought some potatoes with the name of the people he or she hated. Some had 2 potatoes, some had 3, while some had 5 potatoes. The teacher then told the children to carry with them the potatoes in the plastic bag wherever they go for 1 full week. Even if they go to the toilet, even if they go to their homes, even if they go to the bathroom for a whole full week. Days after days passed by, and the children started to complain due to the unpleasant smell let out by the rotten potatoes. This is because when the potatoes were kept in the bag, according to the number of days in which they are kept in the bag, they began to rot. So besides those having 5 potatoes also had to carry heavier bags. Those who had more potatoes had to carry heavier bags. And after 1 week, the children were relieved because the game had finally ended. So when the teacher came after 1 week, he asked the kindergarten children or students, how did you feel while carrying the potatoes with you for a whole full week? Then the children began to let out their frustration and started complaining of the trouble they had to go through carrying the heavy and smelly potatoes wherever they went. Then the teacher told them the hidden meaning behind the game which they are playing. The teacher wanted them to learn something about hate or hatred. So he told them this is exactly the situation where this is exactly the situation when you carry hatred for somebody inside your heart. This is exactly what happens when you carry hatred towards a person inside your heart. The stench of hatred will contaminate your heart. That's the smell of hatred, the bad smell, the bad aroma that comes from hatred. You will carry it inside your heart, and you will carry it within you wherever you go. And also, she told them that if you cannot tolerate the smell of rotten potatoes for just 1 week, can you imagine what it is like to have the stench of hatred in your heart for your entire life or your lifetime? So the moral teaching of the story, or the moral of the story, was throw away any hatred for anyone from your heart, so that you will not carry sins for a lifetime. Forgiving others is the best attitude to take. That's the first story. Another case study which you're going to use. A psychologist walked around a room while teaching stress management to an audience, which it involves how to overcome stress or how to handle stress. It involved how to overcome or to handle stress. As she raised a glass of water, everyone expected that they would be asked the half empty or half full. Or everyone expected the question. Maybe they thought they were going to ask, the teacher was going to ask them, why is this glass half empty, or why is this glass half full? So instead, with a smile on her face, she inquired, how heavy is the glass of water? How heavy is this glass of water? And answers called out ranged from 100 grams or 300 grams. She replied, the absolute weight of this glass doesn't matter. It depends on how long you hold it. If you hold it for a minute, it becomes a problem. But it depends on how long you will hold this glass. If you hold it for a long period of time, it will begin to become heavier. Or you'll begin to have to feel the burden of the load you're carrying of the glass. So if I hold it for an hour, it will have an edge on my arm. If I hold it for an hour, it will have an edge. My arm will begin to edge or begin to experience some pain. If I hold it for a day, my arm will begin to feel numb and paralyzed. If I hold it for a whole full day, in each case, the weight of the glass doesn't change, but the longer you hold it, the heavier it becomes. The weight of the glass doesn't change, but the longer you hold it, the heavier it becomes. If I hold it for an hour, not that. The stress and worries in life are the same as this glass of water. The stress, the anger you have in life, the bitterness you experience in life, and the hatred you're experiencing in life is the same as this glass of water. The more you continue holding them, the longer you continue holding them, the longer you begin to think about them for a while. The longer you begin to hold, to carry them for a while, they begin to become a burden to your life. For example, if you think about them for a while, nothing will happen. Think about them a bit longer, they begin to hurt. And if you think about them all day long, you will feel paralyzed. You'll become incapable of doing anything in your life, and you'll become incapable of doing anything productive in your life. So it is important to remember that you let go of your stresses, you let go of the hatred you have in your life, you let go of the bitterness you have in your life, you let go of the resentment you have in your life, you let go of the hostility you have in your life. If you want your life to become successful, as early as in the evening as you can, you should put all the burdens you have in your heart down. As early as possible, you should begin to put all the burden you have in your life, the hatred, the anger, all those resentfulness you have in your life. You should put them down, because if you continue carrying them, they tend to become a problem to your life. They tend to become a burden to your life. You will not continue, you will not progress, you will not become successful, you will not become prosperous because of the pain you're carrying in your heart. So you should release that pain of anger, that pain of stress, that pain of hostility. You should release it. If you want to become successful, if you want to go to where you're supposed to go, if you want your life to be raised high, or if you want promotions, if you want anything positive you want in your life, you should release all the anger, the bitterness. You should begin to release them, because if you continue holding them, they won't become any useful to your life. So as I conclude, holding on the hate is like letting someone live rent-free in your mind. Holding someone in your life, holding that burden of hate in your life is like letting that person live in your mind without paying any rent, or rent-free in your mind. So stop holding on the hate, stop holding on the hate, stop holding on the anger, stop holding on the resentment, and because it won't do any good to you. Instead of doing you any good, it will harm you. Some of the short or the long-term problems that come as a result of anger or bitterness or stress are The first thing is headaches. You start experiencing headaches because of holding of hatred towards a certain person. The digestion problems like abdominal pain. You begin to have insomnia, lack of sleep. You will begin to be more anxious or increased anxiety. You will have depression or stress. You will begin to have high blood pressure. You begin to have skin problems like eczema. You will begin to have a heart attack, or you also have something like stroke. So feelings of hatred or intense emotional dislike develops for many reasons. There are many reasons why many people hate other people. There are many reasons why many people begin to have hatred or begin to have resentfulness, or they begin to have hostility towards other people. The first thing is envy, jealousy. Jealousy is one of the most major or one of the greatest things why people hate you or why people hate other people. Jealousy, envy. They begin to ask themselves, why is this person living like this? Why I'm not living like that person? They begin to see life like it's unfair to them. Another thing is contempt. Having contempt for other people, or believing them to be inferior. When people begin to view themselves like they are superior, and they look down on other people, they begin to despise other people, they begin to have negative attitude to other people. They begin to look at other people as if they don't deserve any privileges, any opportunities. Maybe because they are poor, maybe because they come from not well-off families. So they begin to have hatred towards other people because they think that they are superior and others are inferior. Another thing is hatred can be inherited from parents. There's that hatred which can be inherited from parents to children. And so that it can be inherited from community to community, from a community to a child, or from other social groups. And also there's something called, when someone humiliates you or mistreats you, you begin to hate that person. So there's something called bitterness. Bitterness is, I can say, is the devil's playgrounds. The devil likes to thrive in bitterness. He likes to operate in bitterness, and you will find that when you have anger, when you store anger in your heart, it grows, it roots, and it becomes bitterness. Anger grows and it becomes in bitterness. When you store anger in your heart, when you harbor, or when you let anger stay when you give it that environment, or you allow it to thrive in your heart, it will grow and it will become bitterness. And when you are bitter or in bitterness, you infect others. When I'm bitter, anyone who is around me, he won't be peaceful. I will begin to frustrate others. I will begin to complain. I will begin to stress others. I will begin even to mistreat others because I'm bitter. So bitterness is not good. When you are bitter, anyone around you becomes affected or infected. Bitterness can become infectious, and also bitterness when I'm bitter, I may cause other people to become bitter, and also when I'm bitter, I may be able to cause other people to become frustrated. And when you are bitter, there's something called that bitterness that will grow into your heart, and it will develop in something like cancer. And bitterness is greater than AIDS. Bitterness is something like cancer. It will begin to eat you. It will begin to eat you from inside. And when you are in this situation, you will no longer have peace. You will no longer live in harmony. You will no longer live in peace, and your life will become stressful. You will become distressed. You will become depressed, and bitterness, hunger, and hatred will destroy your life. And you'll begin to become resentful to other people. You'll become resentful to yourself, to your parents, to your friends. You won't appreciate anything. So bitterness is not good. And bitterness and sadness are the same. Bitterness if you become bitter for a long period of time, you'll become sad. There's something called sadness, and sadness, when you become sad, your life won't be successful, you won't grow, you won't develop, you'll just remain where you are previously, tomorrow, and forever. And as I conclude, it's time you let go of bitterness, it's time you let go of anger, it's time you let go of pain. And if you want to be healthy, if you want to be successful, if you want to be prosperous, if you want to go forward, you must release the pain in your heart, you must release the hunger in your heart, you must release the frustration in your heart, you must put anything that causes you to become resentful, to become bitter, you must put it down, you must put it away. As this glass, you must put it down. And put all anger, put all resentful down, and you will go forward and you will prosper and you will become successful. I believe you have learned something, and I believe from today you're going to resent hatred and you're going to live in love. God bless you.